So most people think that 506B means you can't advertise at all, but that's completely wrong. Because the rule is not no advertising, the rule is no general solicitation. And there's a massive difference that most people who raise capital don't understand. And because you're afraid of compliance, you probably don't do any marketing at all for your 506B offers. You think it's too risky, and I mean, rightly so. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be very risky. But meanwhile, there's a group of other people that know what they're doing. They're light years ahead of you, and they actually produce leads for their offers on autopilot because they're doing it right. And so in this video, we're going to talk about what you can do to advertise your 506B offers, what you can do to get investors that are interested without breaking the rules. Now, quick disclaimer, this is a YouTube video. This is for educational purpose only. So make sure to check with a lawyer and a professional if you want to actually do these strategies. And if you want help implementing these strategies in a completely done for you fashion, or if you just want guidance, then you feel free to check out the resources below. Book a call with our team. We will help you advertise your offers in a compliant way. So how do you advertise a 506B compliantly? So first of all, let's talk about what you don't want to do, right? Like you don't want to run ads saying like, hey, we're raising 2 million for our 28 unit building in Tampa. Do you want to invest? And you also don't want to send out DMs saying like, hey, here are our latest investor returns. Do you want in or something? Even if it's your private LinkedIn, private Instagram, don't do this, right? Like don't directly advertise your offer, to make it very clear. Even if it's on a podcast, on a private webinar, like this can get you in trouble. Because the rule is if the person is not already in a recorded relationship, then it's most likely a violation. Now, what we recommend instead is one of two strategies. So the first one would be building your brand, building your authority with educational content. Because while you might not be able to advertise, a $2 million raise for an apartment building, you can actually educate people on more general topics. For example, how do you assess risk in multifamily? Like what makes a good operator? Like why you like the Florida real estate market, or what trends do you see and stuff like that, right? So you can actually talk about general topics without mentioning your offer and establish yourself as an authority, right? You want to do that organically. You can post content on LinkedIn. I really always recommend long form videos. YouTube is one of the best strategies. And you can also then advertise these videos, basically increasing the reach of that educational content. So people who resonate with that message, people who are interested in investing, are going to follow you and are going to inquire what you have to offer. And once you have the attention, you can then do a simple pitch. What we recommend is basically like, hey, if you want to join our investor list, the link is below, right? So, and then you're going to have people inside of your list where you can then start, reaching out personally. I would not like send a blast email and pitch a project and stuff like that. But as soon as you have that relationship established, you can then invite them into an in-person event, right? Like you can invite them into a personal setting where you can then already have an established relationship and then pitch the projects, pitch the offers, right? That's very much what we recommend. Also, if you have people joining your investor list, what you can do is you can automatically check for the accreditation, right? So that means you can do that accredited investor check, meaning you can already differentiate, right? Like in basically fill out that form, fill out that application form to join our investor list. And then you can do that check, right? Like, and it's less awkward, right? Because they are interested in your stuff. You're not kind of actively reaching out to them. And that's how you build a list of incredibly motivated, incredibly trusting people that you can then reach out in a private setting and pitch to. Super easy, right? But you have to go through multiple steps. You cannot advertise your offer directly. Now, the second strategy is you can basically do the other thing around, right? Like you can advertise your investor list, right? Where you don't solicit any specific things. Just, like advertise your company, what you do, and join our investor list. And then I would send them that educational content, right? I would establish that relationship. And then again, once you have that established relationship, you can get them into a private room. You can talk to them and you can pitch them the deal. Like it's all about establishing a relationship up front first, not advertising your offer, rather advertising yourself. That's going to be the difference, right? Like if you cannot advertise your offer, you have to advertise yourself, your brand, your company, and what you stand for. Then you will establish those relationships, whether online or in person, and then you will go deeper with them and then put them into a legally compliant setting where you can offer them your deal. So instead of just directly advertising, you will need to go through a multi-step process, establish a relationship, warm up that person, get in closer contact, and then put them into a legally compliant setting where you can then pitch them the deal, right? I think that's very simple. I think that's very straightforward. You just do that and you're not gonna have any problems with the SEC. You break those rules, you advertise directly, you're gonna get in trouble, so don't do that. Again, this is an educational video only, so don't take everything that I say here as legal advice, right? You wanna check with your person. But this is a method that we very much recommend if you wanna advertise things that you cannot directly advertise, right? Like get the people in the door with your valuable content, with your education, and then convert them in a legally compliant setting. I think that's actually pretty easy to do. And I mean, in 2025, trust is everything online. That's the reason why you're watching this video, right? Like you wanna build a relationship. So that's a good advice anyway, right? Like creating educational content, creating educational material online, especially long form, is a good advice anyway. So I would highly recommend that you do that. If you need help building systems like that, then again, resources in the link below, where you can reach out to our team, book a call, we can talk about how we can implement a system like that for you. And also, because you're here watching educational content, YouTube recommends you're gonna watch this video, you're really gonna like it. So we'll see each other in the next video.